Hey everybody, it's Gordon. Welcome back to the shop. Happy Friday to you. I just want to do a quick update, tell you where I'm at, show you some of the things that I have going on in the shop, and then we're going to cut right to it today. I want to do a horn repair, and it's going to be something a little different, so stick with me. In the meantime, I want to show you what just came off. So this is going to be a rosewood tote, and it was missing a chunk and a mid-body brake. So the body's been repaired, beautiful color. And we were missing a chunk, as I just said. And where was that? It was right up here. So I put a piece of Brazilian rosewood back in. It's not grain matched, of course, and it definitely stands out. It almost looks like a kind of an accent piece, other than you got this flowery scallop on the top. That's a dead giveaway that the grain's not doing what it's supposed to. But from other angles, it looks kind of cool. And if you're okay with that kind of check mark look on the top, that's good too. I'm happy with that one. It came out pretty tight. That's a solid one, but it's going away. I would love to keep it. What else did we do? We just finished another one with a mid-body brake, and it ended up where? It ended up right here. It ended up on my 5.5. So we'll throw that one out there real quick. I'm happy with this guy. That has a shellac finish and then a coat of just paste wax, so it gives it just a little bit of a matte look, and I'm happy with that one too. But that one did stay, so he got swapped out, and that came out of the box of project parts that I have. So if you remember, you saw in my other video, I did an unboxing here where we had a bunch of rosewood pieces and mixed beech and boxwood. So I've sorted those out, and before I get to that, a couple more things. What else do I have going on? Okay, here's another horn repair. This is what just traditional. This is just a classic horn repair. A beautiful solid tote. Believe that would be a Stanley 5, 6, 7, 8. And super solid, was just missing a huge chunk. So I cut a swarf cut on it. It's a little bit of an angle because of the damage, and epoxied a piece of Catalox on the top of this one. So this, if you can read, the tag is still there, is gonna come out, I think, pretty cool. I don't know what it's gonna look like color-wise, but Catalox has a cool grain. It's kind of a plain, super tight material, very hard. So it'll shape real nice, it'll sand real nice, and it'll complement. I don't know what it'll look like, but we're going to give that a shot. So that one's going on. And then there's a lot of knob stuff going on, and I'm doing video pieces and taking some chunks along the way. So here's a little fixture. This chucks up in my Nova chuck, of course, and I've glued this into place. And what I do is, this was completely blown out, so he looked a lot like this one. Right, so not a total loss. It's a beautiful piece of rosewood. And what I'll do is I'll just fixture him up and run it across the table saw, take a flat slice, epoxy a piece on, let it cure, knock it down, do it again, turn it, knock it down. And you can see, well, in this case, not too many pieces. There's only 2 so far. But on a little guy like this, it starts to take on kind of a mosaic look. So it'll be dark down in here, and there's shadows that kind of protect that. I'm not really trying to line up grain and make this all, perfect. It's obviously been repaired. It was blown all apart. But we're going to just chuck this guy back up in a fixture, and we'll turn him too. So a couple videos that I've got going, pieces, parts. But now let's get back to why we're talking today. Horn repair. I wanted to try something different. I thought this would be fun. And you've seen me lay these down. In this case, perfect example. This is a nice rosewood tote. I can tell by the markings on the bottom and the impression of where it came from. This was sitting on a Stanley, and it's missing a big chunk on top. So what would I do? Normally, we would glue it up, put it on a fixture, swarf cut the top or flat cut the top, glue some new piece of whatever on, be it walnut or something exotic or Catalox. Bacote, whatever we got, we'll put it on there, whatever we want to do, and that would be cool. But what if we wanted to put another horn back on it? So in this box of goodies that I just received, there are some horns that are complete, which I don't normally have this. This is always the part that's broken off or missing. So what if we wanted to just cut this accurately enough to line those holes up and put it back on? The color seems to be pretty close, and we can just work with it. But I think that would be kind of fun to try. It's challenging, and I've got something in mind already that I think that'll make it easier. And if you follow along, we'll give it a shot. The other reason I'm doing this, it's kind of a first time for me to try this. I normally just put other material and shape it. But this is a decent looking tote, but it's also, if we look close, it's also broken, right? So this guy has a mid-body break. If I flex this a little bit, you can see it start to open up. So this is gonna just snap right apart. It'll be 2 pieces or 3 before we're done with it. But I thought in its current condition, I have nothing to lose. Let's go ahead and try and graft this thing on in an accurate place and limit our work that we have to do. Then we'll do this mid-body, and we'll try and take some of these dents out. Normally I don't do that. I like to leave the look and the patina, but we're gonna kind of go for a total refinished look. Let's see if we can't rejuvenate this guy, and we'll learn something along the way. So here we go. Let's go to the saw. So you know I'm gonna glue this thing to a piece of wood, just like I do with everything. I'm gonna use hot melt glue. That'll hold it in place. I don't have to put clamps on it or get my fingers in the way. And we can put all the guards on and not have to be super open and dangerous. So what we wanna do is orient this in such a way that we can cut it, but you can see this has already been cut, right? So this guy's perfectly flat. We were scalping this and using parts of the rosewood in a different project. So how do I know that we're going to get this right where I need it to be, right? I can sneak up on the cut and get to the elevation I want in terms of, you know, the exact plane, but this could be crooked. If I just put it up against the fence, I don't think this is going to line up. So how would I know for sure? Well, here's a simple solution. I'm just going to pound a dowel in here, right? We're going to use a 5/8, if that's what that is, 3/8, sorry, 3/8 dowel. We're gonna pound a dowel in the counter bore. We already know that that bore's there, and then we're just gonna put this guy on it. Okay, so let me get you back in frame. That's what it looks like. Yeah, well that's kind of dumb. That didn't do anything for me, did it? Well, it did. What it does is the bore for this counter bore is now perfectly in line. It's on the same center line, or concentric, right? So all I need to do is line this guy up. And what I did, I already cut a score line in my fixture. So in theory, right, and you can see, I'm gonna move the camera over here, you can see that the base of the plane wasn't parallel. So if I glued this up and ran it along the fence, we would be really crooked. And I don't wanna be crooked. I really wanna line up the workpiece with the cut. And so now what I'm going to do, just using eye, that's the parallel line that I want. The hole's perfectly concentric, so if we hold this guy down, we are good to go. And how would I hold it down? You know me, I'm going to glue that thing like glue is free, right? So our hot melt glue is dry. Got to be careful, you know, let it cure. So we got a good hold. But you can see that this plane, if I were to, like I said, mounted it to the fence or butted up against the fence, our cut would have been parallel with the base of the plane, and that wouldn't have served us any good because the way this guy was originally cut, it lined right up that way. So I just used my little score line as a guide, and we're glued into the middle of the board. No reason to screw anything down. I'll just pull this tip off now, and we will go ahead and run this thing through the saw. There's no reason to have this here, and frankly, if that's loose, I don't want it to take off when we make the cut. So let's put the saw together, get some dust collection, and make the cut. Okay, so we made a couple passes. Didn't talk during the saw cut there, but you could see what I was doing. I was just taking, you know, a 64th or more or less, more or less per pass, and just trying to make that graft disappear. And really what I was using as my mark was this very edge, and I'm just, you know, maybe a couple thousandths of flat right there left, and I think that'll sand out. But what's cool about this idea, again, I'm just going to use my dowel. I'm going to put it in this horn, and if we do this right, just like Legos, we should be able to snap this guy together. There we go. Okay, so I think, you know, we've got a color that is going to be workable, but what's interesting is this, of course. Isn't that kind of funny? We do have some shaping to do, but I think it's going to be all right. We'll work with it. Again, not something we've ever, not something we've done before, but let's pop this guy off the fixture and see what we get. Okay, so we're at the bench and we're going to do a glue up. And even though I have my dowel for an alignment, I still have this glued to the fixture, so I have this clocking issue, right? This is going to want to turn. So super simple fix. Just get another piece of fixture, and we're going to put that underneath, and now we're all on the same plane. So we're going to put that together. Everybody's happy. I can put my epoxy in. We can put some clamps on this and give it a squeeze. So here we go. Okay, so our epoxy is set, and I popped this off the board and took the clamps off it. Yes, you'll notice I did wrap that dowel in aluminum foil. I didn't want it to be permanently a part of this little project. So the alignment's good. I got a lip on this side, and I got a lip on this side. And of course we got this overbite going on there, and we're just gonna rasp that out and see what it looks like. If we need to shorten the horn a little bit and make it feel a little more forward, I might do that. But overall, I like where we are. I really do. I think that's going to be kind of a fun little fix. Super quick. Okay, and we're back. I got to tell you, I went ahead and I did a fast forward on this one. I got so excited with the alignment and the way that this thing matched up. I went ahead and put a spray finish on it real quick and then a coat of wax. And I just love it. I got to tell you, I am not easily impressed, and I don't get too excited about these things sometimes, but this one worked out really well. And for a complete horn repair, to know that we married two Stanley RoseWood, you know, pieces back together and made this beautiful finished tote, I am really, really happy with the way it went. So it did have a mid-body break. I fixed that. I put it back together. I said it had some little pock marks and dents, and we're going to play with removal. And honestly, I have so many scraps and so many things on the bench right now. We can work with something else to show that technique. But this guy went so well. Once I got the overbite, and I just removed it. I used a Stanley Sureform. It's a 297 rasp. It looks just like this, right? It's one of my favorite old tools, and boy does that cut nice, especially when you get down inside and you need to take out that inside radius. So I went ahead and I just kept right on rolling. I loved the way this thing came out. Again, I'm not going to say it. I'll just tell you, I'm really happy with it. It's got some little dents and pock marks in it. So there's just some history left in it. The other side, there's a couple, I don't know if it's a ring or what's going on there, some gouges, maybe tools banging together. They got a couple pock marks down here. I left those in too. But there you have it. Our mid-body break went away. Our horn is new, and it's Stanley RoseWood, which is, I don't know if that's worth anything. It kind of is to me. I love bringing these old guys back together, and it's like reuniting long lost cousins, I guess. So they're back together. He's now one, ready to go. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something on this tote horn repair, because I did something a little different. So that was a fun exercise, and there's so many more things to cover. Please stay with me. Watch the videos. Give it a like. Subscribe. Share it with your friends. Ask me a question. I'm always willing to share, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Thanks again. Hope you loved it. Bye-bye.